Please, come in.
Thank you.
Come in, parents. Please take a seat. Yeah. So, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Good afternoon.
I know it's not easy to have this discussion, and I appreciate your willingness to come in today. I'm Alex Smith. I'm one of Jessica and Daniel's teacher, and this is my colleague, Mrs. Cassie Murphy. We're here because we want to support both Daniel and Jessica as best we can.
Thank you all for making the time. We all gathered you all in to discuss some academic concerns that we've been observing with both Daniel and Jessica. This is an opportunity to work together, to find solutions to help them thrive. Our goal is to ensure that they can reach their potential and feel confident in their learning.
Okay, to start off, first of all, thank you, Mr. Smith and Mrs. Murphy, for arranging this meeting. And I'm Rizki Al Daniel's father, and this is Nancy, my wife. We've noticed Daniel struggling for learning and retaining information. So now we're hoping for a better understanding today.
Yes, we've been worried. Actually, this is too difficult for us than seeing him started less confident. And maybe you want to hear any ideas or some recommendations?
Well, I'm Reishandy Valiansa, Jessica's father, and this is my wife, Audya. We also noticed some changes in Jessica. Lately, she has been more frustrated and emotional over her homework. And we want to help her, but it seems like what we're doing isn't working.
Yes, she used to love school, but now she's dreading it, and it's affecting to her mood, and we don't know what to do anymore.
Thank you. Well, let's talk about the incident in classes. First, Daniel. Daniel seems often distracted and struggles to retain information, particularly in reading comprehension. It's as if he's getting overwhelmed quickly. We've tried a few different classroom strategies, but he still has a hard time for keeping up.
As for Jessica, we see similar challenges. She struggles with activities that need quick processing like math. She's putting an effort, but it appears she's feel discouraged, and she's recently hesitated to participate in class.
This one exactly. Like what you see with Daniel too. He looked very frustrated all day, and even with the subject he used to enjoy.
Yes, sometimes Jessica said she's down, and it's heartbreaking to hear that, and I don't know what to do.
We're doing what we can, we try as hard as we can, but it seems like there's a wall that we can just get through. I know that Jessica is struggling, but sometimes I just don't know what to do.
Thank you for sharing that, parents. So, based on what we're seeing in classes, Mrs. Murphy and I believe it's possible that both Daniel and Jessica might have undiagnostic learning possibilities. And this could explain their retention and processing difficulties, and may point toward us to have a strategy that fit their learning style.
This doesn't mean labeling them. We just want to see if there's an underlying issue that needs attention. An assessment can show us where they need extra help so they can succeed without always feeling behind.
I didn't expect that, but maybe it's something we should look into. It's a bit unsettling that we think about learning disability. Isn't there a chance he just going through a tough phase?
Learning disability? Look, I don't know about that, but I don't want Jessica to feel like she's different from everyone else. Once she's labeled, that label sticks. And it can change how people see her. And sometimes I know how that feels being an outcast in the school. I just wish she could be treated evenly.
I understand Mr. Valiansa, but the assessment isn't about labeling her permanently. Think of it as a way to give her and us more tools for learning. She wouldn't be treated differently. It's just about ensuring she has the right support.
But does that mean Jessica would be in separate class or different class and treated differently? I think it could be make things worse, not better.
Good question. Not necessarily. The assessment is private and any recommendations are tailored to help Jessica succeed. We can discuss support strategies like extended time in assignments or visual aids where she used discreetly. When if you use this without affecting her classroom experience.
Well, I still don't like the idea of these accommodations. I don't want Jessica feels like she needs some sort of special treatment or that she's incapable of doing things on her own. I know that my daughter is a smart kid and I don't want to hold her back with these kind of labels, you know.
I understand Mr. Valiansa, but if this could help understanding the children better, I think we should try it. I want my son to be succeed, even it means considering options that we're not really comfortable with.
But don't you worry that your son's confidence might be affected? Once they start seeing themselves as different, it could affect them and their mental to the worst.
Actually, I think this hurt his confidence every time he fails on a test or he cannot finish an assignment that he started to believe if he just can't do anything, he just can't do anything by himself. So if an assessment can help us find the solutions, I'm willing to consider it.
I know you want this kind of capable, but it's not about the labels, it's about finding answers, and I think this is exactly what we need right now.
But what if it limits her? I don't want our daughter to be self-conscious about it. I want her to be strong. I want her to push through.
Mr. Valiansa, your concerns are valid. But the purpose of the assessment is not to give her a crutch, but to show us what works best for her. Many students thrive once they have a strategy that suits them, and it's about helping her learn independently, not relying on this accommodation forever.
I just don't believe in holding her back. Sometimes, what if like this whole process of accommodating is what's holding her back, and that she cannot do things on her own?
But that's unfair, right? Because Jessica has been worked hard today, and this is exactly what we need to her.
Right. Then
Okay, and as a parent, we always tell them we should take every possibility to help them. And I know none of us want to see our children to feel left behind.
Maybe it's us who need to adjust. That's what we are need to now, and they also need some help, and yeah, just some help.
Thank you, Ms. Allen and Mr. and Mrs. Valiansa. This is all about providing Jessica and Daniel with tools they can use to thrive. We still challenge them and encourage them independence with support strategies that actually work.
All right. I get it. I understand you're trying to help me. I just don't want Jessica to feel like she has to rely on these kind of things forever.
Of course, Mr. Valiansky. We can approach this in a way that helps her, that builds her independence and confidence over time. Think of it as a way to empower her to learn on her terms.
I think we all here in agreement, right? Then we go forward with the assignment so we can discuss the result together.
Yes, and thank you for you both for helping us. And it's hard to hear that, but I believe it's the best way to her.
Right? I'm on board. But only if we keep a close eye on things. If Jessica starts to feel or to act different, then I want to reconsider.
That's completely fair, Mr. Valiansky. We're here to communicate every step of the way. And as Mrs. Murphy stated earlier that this information is private, so it's all up to us to what to do next. Okay, before we wrap this meeting up, is there any more additional question? Mr. Allen, Mr. Valiansky, is there any more question?
Maybe I have a question.
Sure, please.
So regarding the, learning disability, do you have any other solutions, maybe outside of school, that we can actually try?
If we may suggest, Mr. Valiansky, we may suggest you can take Jessica to the therapist. Therapist will assess Jessica's behavior, and then who knows that the therapist might give you an additional information which we might don't know as well. And then if you may, you can pass also the information to us so we can adjust our learning strategies to Jessica progress.
Right. But do you have any recommendations on which therapy should we see?
Oh yes, I have a contact of therapist if you need one. This is the number and the card of the therapist. You can check them.
Thank you.
She's very good on children health. She can be the finest solution for your
Okay.
problem.
This seems like a good deal. So thank you for the offer.
Okay, is there any more question, Mr. Allen, Mr. Valiansky? I think right. Mr. Valiansky?
Oh, okay. So let's just say that it's not learning disability. Let's just say that maybe it's her school environment that might affect her behavior, and she acts the way it is, like now. Maybe you should look into the, school, safety.
Okay.
Maybe people are bullying her.
We as a teacher, we committed that every student we ensure that every student is safe in here. And we as a teacher, we're very committed to that dedication. And we're never letting anyone get bullied in it, including both Jessica and Daniel. So we're confident that there's no one in here is bully Jessica and Daniel. And if there is someone bully Jessica and Daniel, we promise you we'll be keep in touch on both of you. And so, is there any more question, Mr. Allen, Mr. Valiansky?
I have no further question. Thank you.
Okay. Mrs. Murphy?
Yes, for Jessica, may I suggest maybe you can spend more time with her, like how she's feeling, how is her days, something like that.
Okay, we'll try to be as good parents as possible.
Okay, if there's no more question, we can consider this, we have an agreement, right? Okay, so if there's no more additional question, thank you gentlemen for coming in today, thank you parents, and you may leave my office.
Okay, thank
Thank
you.
you very much for your opinions.
Thank you.
Mrs. Murphy?